Citizen Architect going green, where we have finally gone green. Well, mostly red and orange. Actually, there's very little green in our farm right now. We've got cabbages. Yeah, I mean, we got a few cabbages. That's really it. Hello. Somebody made a very hilarious joke, ha ha ha, about the going green is actually the mold on the sides of the prison. I didn't have enough money to hire janitors, okay? And besides, as I said in the comment, it's a carbon sink. It's about going green, and I think I've done a fucking good job with that. God, it is a mess though, isn't it? Holy shit. I'll admit, I didn't realise quite how bad it was until I read that comment. Okay, maybe we'll hire a few more people then. So there was another good suggestion on yesterday's episode that it's quite possibly the reason that the showers don't work anymore is that they are stacked up with a toilet. They might have just changed that, and I think that's a pretty good suggestion. So let's move the toilets. I'm gonna have to move every single toilet in every single room, and I have to. This is gonna take hours. This is actually gonna take hours. That's it. Full on RSI right now. That fucking hurt. What really annoys me is obviously it's tabbed to cycle through objects, right? Sometimes the toilet was second, sometimes the toilet was third. So sometimes I was reinstalling the fucking drain. I know it's a very minor, okay, it's a very minor complaint, but still quite annoying. Okay, well, let's see if that will fix the problem. Let's see if they'll actually shower now and not stink out the canteen. Okay, so the cells are decently upgraded too. We will have to apparently run some more pipes as well. It's quite annoying. Right, there you go. Okay, that's all good there. You're good, and you're good. And I think we're fine, eh? Fantastic. There was a comment yesterday that said only grow corn because corn sells for the most, and given that and they make a very fair point that I hadn't considered. We've only got medium security prisoners, so the chance of them rioting is very low. The chance of being violent or causing trouble is very low as well. Otherwise, they wouldn't be minimum security. So what we can do is just grow the corn and sell the corn and not bother feeding it to the prisoners. It gives them health bonuses, and you know, generally puts them in a better mood because they're eating fresh, healthy produce, but who gives a fuck? I'm going to feed him slop and they're going to like it. So what I'm thinking is, let's take this person. I'm going to randomly and blindly take this person's advice, despite the fact that I haven't tested it myself. Why can't we plant corn? What's wrong with corn? Oh, farming field. That's a vegetable allotment. Right, so let's only plant corn. How much cash have we got? Bloody loads of it. Do you think we should just go fucking ham on this? Should we just go ham on this? Just do something like that. Boom. Oh, that might be a bad idea. If we're doing that, I think we should probably hire another farmer. We'll start by hiring one more farmer. And we'll see... Where the fuck is the... There we are. We'll see how they get on. And then we'll see if they're capable of dealing with that many crops. What we should also get then, if we are going to go maximizing the... This doesn't really make much sense, because it seems as if we're bypassing the whole prison aspect of things now. We should really get auto-harvesters. Harvesting all crops in an area 10 tiles long in front. So if we put a harvester that way, we would have to put a harvester the other way around too. Unless we do that, right? Why can't we... Why can't I place those down? I have no idea. Why can't I place those? What do you need? Maybe we have to wait for the crops to be planted first. Maybe there has to be a valley crop in front of it. Yeah, see, we also can't place that. Hey? Oh! Why can we place it there but not anywhere else? What's special about this particular bit? I don't understand. Is it maybe it's because there's something there that we can't place it. Maybe it does have to be on a field. Oh my god, you can automate everything. The only thing you can't automate is planting the crops in the first place. Okay, well I could plan this out a lot more efficiently then if that's the case. Oh, alright, here's the plan then. Fuck this. Cancel it. Let's do this the proper way. So why don't we turn this all into one big field? Excellent. That'll do it. I think this bottom row where we've built the perimeter wall is not valid because that's all concrete. So we'll take that away. And then let's start as we mean to go on. So somebody said if we just type in the... Somebody said if we type in like the DLC or something like that, the room type, it'll filter it to... So if I type in like farm... There we are, much better. Right, so let's go advanced auto gatherer. And then we've got auto harvesters. What the hell's the difference? Gather and store all ingredients. Auto harvester, store crops. Maybe that is for like fruit orchard or farming? So it's every 6 hours to gather and store all ingredients in 10 by 10 area. Harvesting all crops. This harvesting will be blocked by walls and doors. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what the difference is there. I mean, it doesn't really make any difference at all, though, does it? And actually, this is a good way that we could use that concrete, because they have to be placed within the room, but that concrete we can't grow crops on. So we could use it to place some auto harvesters. Just if you really want to maximize to that extent. We don't need to, obviously. So let's throw some of these down, then. It's going to be quite expensive, but like I said, this was the whole point of me saving that grant money. I imagine they're quite expensive to power, though, perhaps. Okay, so we do something like that. And in fact, why don't I bring them over a block, and then we can put a block each side of just like a walkway. Oh, they're off. Oh, no. He's dead. Oh, okay, that's lucky. Holy shit, he's good. Okay, so we've got some pipes going down there for the sprinklers too. So let's go to quick build then. Let's just go ahead and clone out our crop sprinklers. Now, those cover a 2x2 area, so because it's 10 blocks each... sorry, they cover a 5-block area because it's 10 blocks each. It doesn't quite... I don't know why. It doesn't quite add up there. It's only 2... Oh, yeah, of course, it's 5x5, so it's 2 blocks either side of it. That makes a lot more sense now I've thought about it. Right, so let's put like one there. It's 4 blocks between each one, right? So we'll put one there. Yeah, and then one just there. And then we'll just keep cloning these out until we've basically got the whole bloody thing covered. With that one row of auto harvesters, we crank the power station up so much. I really should use, like, green power or something for this, shouldn't I? That's kind of the point of the DLC. Why don't we throw down a few... What was it we needed to unlock this green task? So let's go to the grant then a second. Eco-friendly. Power the prison for 5 days. That's going to be fucking impossible the bigger the prison becomes. Green machine. One of each. Okay. Obviously, we can't do that until we've... How is it we unlocked them before? I really don't remember. Maybe it was just buying a certain amount of solar panels? It's got to be a grant somewhere. I'm not going... Ah, green energy goals. There it is. 3 solar... Got it. Okay, so 3 solar panels, right? We might as well just buy them and then sell them. Because I assume the solar wind hybrid is the best one. What the hell is going on here? What the fuck? Oh, they're climbing over the fucking walls? Oh. Right, because we've got escape plans enabled. Right, okay. Yeah, fair point. I completely forgot they could do that. So perimeter walls take longer to climb over, but they still can be climbed over, as you can see there. Well, in that case, let's just block up all the edges. I assume they could still climb over the double walls like this as well, but it might slow them down a little bit more. We could get another perimeter wall right around the edge. That's where we'd want some canines patrolling or something like that. They're all just trying to go out. What the fuck are they? They're all just trying to break out the same bloody place. Okay, in that case, climbing rope. There you are. Dump. Get rid of it. That's kind of fun. That's a lot better than tunnels, I will admit. I think that's kind of fun. It's so silly. I've had the climbing rope on dump for ages now. It's just no one's actually coming to do it. We are actually going to knock unconscious the entire prison. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we haven't at this point, to be honest with you. Really? You know how it's like, oh, wow, the double doors are really cool. They're quite a fun idea, aren't they? All they do is just install 2 separate doors. I thought it was like this new thing that might have some implications. No, it is just 2 separate doors. You can dump and dismantle them individually. I guess it's just... I don't even know. For the slightest it's to stop you rotating a door 180 degrees. Wow. Hey, there we go. Good shit. Now we can get rid of the shower block then and replace it with something else. I'm thinking 4 more cells. My God, that's expensive. Okay, well, I'm trusting that commenter. I'm in the corn game. We're big corn now. Okay, and then after they've got that down, let's go. To be fair, we had a lot of fertilizer hanging around apparently. 250 corn plants. I guess I can just maybe tile that out. Oh man, this shit's expensive, eh? I think we might need some more farmers. These poor guys are gonna be here forever. Right, let's chuck down a few more of those. There you go. Yeah, might have got a little bit too hard on that. There's so many prisoners released. What the hell? Look at that, 21 coming in. I don't think they weren't like killed, were they? We have 1 death in custody, and that was 1 escapee, and both those were yesterday. Whoa, shit! We genuinely just had like 30 or 20 people released. Oh my God. Never mind. Starved to death. What do you mean fucking starved to death? Literally so much food we can't even carry it all. Oh, I think I know what happens. The auto harvester harvests the crop, and then the auto gatherer sucks it up and dumps it somewhere. Oh, that would make a lot of sense. I suppose every 6 hours, gathering and storing ingredients. Right, there you go. So we'd have to put one of those right in the middle there. So we sacrifice 4 crops, but it would help with automation a little bit more, wouldn't it? Okay, yeah, I can do that. If I've set this up correctly in the crop distribution menu, this is being sent to exports. And then exports I've got linked up to the actual main road there. God knows how we get helipads. That'd be kind of fun. So that way, I believe it means our crops will be gathered up and shipped off rather than used as croppage in the kitchen. I would rather spend like next to nothing per meal and get big stonks out of our corn, right? I think I've set that up correctly in here as well. If we just go to prison policy a second in the ingredients tab, I've changed it to highest ratio of imported. I assume that side being fresh, that side being imported. So I've set that right the way up there. And then in policy as well, I've just set meal quality to like none and low. Just keep them like really under heel. We need way more farmers, don't we? This is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen a full... Oh, man. We could get the prisoners on it. I need to build some more perimeter walls, though. As a bare minimum. So we'll do that next. And what I'll do is I'll push this path back. I'll move the shed back up and we'll finish this as kind of the final area. I've got the last of the automation coming in here. I've put down the auto harvesters. That's 10,000 for 4 of the fucking things. We've got auto harvesters down here, which when they kick in are very, very cool. They quite literally do exactly what you think. And that is, oh, sorry, I should say the auto gatherers. They quite literally just suck up everything in that area, box it up, and then your guys can just carry it to exports. We haven't actually sold any corn yet because they haven't moved it over to exports to obviously sell it. So what we're going to do is we're going to manually sell it all and see quite how much money we've made in I mean, look, let's be honest, about a third, maybe slightly under half actually, of our field is actually, you know, set up to sell crops or set up to produce crops. So we're going to do something like that. 12k for like less than half a field for one cycle. It's pretty fucking good. And now we're going to invest that right back into the fields. I've hired a few more farmers too. We're up to 15 farmers now. And when we get the perimeter wall, we will try and employ some prisoners instead. I think that's a very sensible idea. You can see that we're really starting to get our corn production ramped up now, though. This is crazy. I don't know when these things activate, but I want to see if we can catch this thing when it fires off, because it is very, very cool. 6 more minimum security prisoners coming in, so the parole program's going very well. Our kind of, I don't want to say open door, revolving door policy is going very, very well on that one with the kind of high parole. Oh, there we go. Your prison's close to new inmates. Come on, activate. I want to see it happen. The power grid might not be able to handle this much, though, I will admit. We'll kind of see how that goes. Man, look at it. There you go. Hey, look at that. That's so cool. And look at all the corn we've got in there too now. Absolutely staggering. Someone just died. What did you die from? Overdose, I assume. Yep, overdose. Damn. Look at all the fucking corn. And that thing, bear in mind, it just sucked up all the corn, and now we've got even more. I don't know who empties out the corn machine. It looks like it's workers, actually. Oh, wow. My God, there is so much going on here. We could just bulldoze the whole prison and turn the whole thing into farming, couldn't we? I feel like I need to do that. I feel like at the end of the series, we should do prison architect, but with no prison. They are actually exporting the corn. That supply line is working as intended. It just takes a while to get it over there. That's when the helipad would be useful. No idea how you get that. I don't even know if we can get it. I think that's more for islands and shit, isn't it? We'll see how much a fully loaded truck of corn is worth. I mean, we can probably guess. I mean, it's 8 times 200. So nice. Save me having to do the maths. That's not 8 times 200. I'm telling you for a fact that's not 8 times 200. I guess a few of the boxes were slightly short on corn. Jesus, this is out of hand. Oh, good lord. Shall I hire some more farmers? What do you think? This seems to be going a little bit alright. We need to hook all those up to power, which is why they're not working at all right now. Hopefully this won't overload our grid. We're already using solar panels for these. I've completely detached it from the prison because it was too much. How are we doing with that? Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, no, we've got a shitload of excess power from that. Next DLC. Prison architect. You got to be careful with what you call it, obviously. Factory time. Factory mode. Factorialization. Not the right word. I've been over this in RimWorld. That would work pretty goddamn well, because I could do with some conveyor belts here to shift all my corn over a bit faster. Hey, there might even be an object that does that. We've got the auto harvesters. Oh, sorry, the auto gatherers. Gather store ingredients within 10 by 10. Yeah, okay, and then we've got auto scythes, which is similar to the these auto harvesters, but they sit in the middle and then obviously scythe around it. That would be actually better, I would argue, than these, because then you could put those in a kind of, Actually, could you oscillate that? Hang on, let me think for a second. Yeah, see, you can. If you put one there, and then if you put one there, and you put them around the edge, and then if you put 4 in the middle, you would cover everything. You do a bit more. You could do it a bit more efficiently than that if you kind of alternate the center. But yeah, no, those would work a little bit better than these auto harvesters, I think. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter because they can drive over the top anyway. So yeah, it really makes no difference. It's obviously the cost of buying these things. It's the cost of actually getting it all set up. You know, it's obviously cheaper to use the auto scythes to start off with until you get a bit more bank flow. We just have to have all of our grants available to us simultaneously. It's mad. There's so much shit going on here. Wow. Why don't we... Again, we can automatically sell it, right? You don't, like, lose 85% of their purchasing cost. Okay, so selling it like that actually sells for way less than it would be putting it on the back of the trucks. That's to be expected. You kind of hope so. Doesn't really make much sense having the workman walk all the way over here to grab it from there, to drop it off to there, to then carry it all the way back. We might as well just do it in one go. Granted, it takes them a little longer to run between back and forth, but at least the truck drivers can actually load that. Anyway, I should also connect these doors up with let's get some utilities in. Let's get some servos on these as well. Insufficient funds. All right, never mind. Well, we should get a bit of cash out of that one, I hope. Yeah, that'll do it. Right, okay. Let's throw a couple of door servers down on here. Somebody asked why I was doing the servers so weirdly last time. I was doing them like that. Simply because perimeter fences, from what I remember, can't have servers on, right? Oh, they actually changed that since. I remember vividly not being able to put door servers on perimeter fences. Maybe I was doing them into here? I don't entirely remember. Well, quite clearly it works now, so maybe I'm losing my mind. Yeah, let's put a couple of these down. Way too many janitors if there are like fucking 3 of them just walking around in the exports area. So I'm going to sack a couple? Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm sure it's one of the mods that we've got that's not slightly up to date or something like that, hopefully. Which one of the janitors? They're these ones, aren't they? So who have we got? What are you doing? You're moving. Okay, so you're actually doing stuff. Oh, it's gardeners we've got too many of. Let's sack a couple of gardeners then. I have a feeling the auto gatherers are rammed full of corn and can't pick up any more, or at least this one is. Yeah, did you see that? It was like 40, 40, 40 in there. Shit. They're slowly moving them over to... Oh, no. Maybe we've gone a bit hard on the corn farming. I mean, the money coming in is phenomenal. 20,000 cash flow a day. That seems pretty good. Other income, 30,000 a day. How does that... So is other... Wow, yeah, so other transactions, exports. We exported 30,000 worth of corn yesterday. Prisoner food was 49, and we're selling 30,000 worth of corn. That's fucking incredible. 1,600 on reform programs, 275 on shop revenue. Where are our expenses coming from? Corporation taxes. I'm actually researching the bureaucracy to drop that right down, to be honest with you. Not that it'll make that much different. But I'm going for it so that we get the recycling incentives so we can start taking a look at some of the other green-related stuff going on here. Okay. What else we got here then? Green machine. We can do that one soon. Eco-friendly. Overproduction? Sell 50 of each. Oh, that's a shame. Can I just have, like, sell 1,000 corn? Because, I think I've done that probably 10 times over at this point. What's that still saying 10,000 there for? Is that because I've got that quick build selected? I don't know. God knows. Hang on. Just something like that. Oh, there you go. That cleared it. Whatever it was. Doing testing based on various different things here. Kind of testing out the GM crops versus non-GM crops. Testing out the different types of fertilizers. It was 20k a day for quite a long time. I've untoggled GM. And that's dropped it down to 6k. I'm not sure if that is the main root of the problem. Or whether or not it is just... a coincidence, for lack of a better word. I'm going to put it back. I've been letting this run for a few days without GM crops specifically so I can test this. Day 85, we're at 6,183. Export specifically is what we'll look at here. We won't, I mean, we'll just have to include this. I'm not going to shut this down. So we'll assume a regular workflow from the workshop as well. 5,776. We'll turn back on GM. We'll come back to it in like a week. See if that has a significant impact on things. Am I the only one that finds it just a bit weird that... Brilliant, good work. That it's the most profitable and efficient way you can play Prison Architect is without the prison. It's so strange that this is a viable gameplay strategy. Like, sure, I tried out getting the prisoners working. In fact, I think we've still got some working in this field down here. All 2 of them. It's just so strange that they included all of this automation machinery when the crux of it is to reform and employ prisoners so that they are, you know, doing something. And what we've instead just got them do is hanging around in a fucking prison all day. I've taken away all the programs because they're cutting into our profit margins. I've just got them hanging around until they're paroled out and I get money for it. Meanwhile, in the background, all this land that was intended for our prison is just all farmland. It's so... I mean, look, I know right now I could take out a bank loan of 300k or whatever and just clone this across the entire fucking prison and we would just be rolling in cash. We would just be absolutely rolling in cash. And I don't... I'm sorry, I'm just trying to pass everything. It just seems very un-Prison Architect, doesn't it? Maybe if we ever play Prison Architect and do like a big prison or a challenge run, maybe we'll just avoid the farming stuff entirely. Like I've been playing, I mean, it probably won't come across to you guys in the video, but I've been playing this for like an hour or so now, just kind of testing out different profits and switching stuff around. And I've just, it just dawned on me the realization that this is weird. It doesn't feel very Prison Architect, and that's coming from someone who hasn't played a huge amount of Prison Architect, so take it with a grain of salt, or a shock of corn in this case. But it feels out of place. It feels like a mod, if you get what I'm saying. And it would be way more... I mean, the end goal of the game is, of course, to have fun and not to make money, but there are people who would play it like that. And ultimately, the best way you can do that right now is... forgetting the prison aspect, employing 100 farmers and having the whole thing as corn. And that's what strikes me as so bizarre. Like, if you needed the prison labor to run the farm efficiently, that would be fine. That would make a lot of sense, because then you've got to consider, okay, you're running the prison labor, you know, you're giving prisoners potentially access to farm tools and dangerous equipment. You have to ensure that you're also paying them and that you have guards deployed. I've had to deploy guards to this field to ensure that they're going over the walls. Or I could just do as we've done on this farm up here, this smaller farm, and just not bother with that and still make an absolute fucking fortune. I feel like the automated machinery was the big mistake. Like, not necessarily even the gatherers, but just the harvesters alone. I think if they were taken away in the auto sides, this would be a very different scenario for it. And making the farmers obviously way more expensive. The farmers should be really there to... Instead of a farmer, you should have like a farm manager, for lack of a better word. Like similar to how you have multiple foremen. You could have like just a farm manager that oversees and trains the prisoners. I don't know, it just seems in a really strange place. I don't know if anyone... I'm very curious to know what people actually think of this DLC, to be honest with you. Because I'm in like this really weird place with it right now where I'm thinking like if I ever play again, I might actually disable the DLC. Maybe that's just me. And the green energy stuff too, on the subject of that, I know we haven't really gone too much into it quite yet. The green energy stuff also seems a little bit lackluster. Like, it's really expensive and much more cumbersome than your regular power. You've got the batteries and the transformers, obviously. Or you could just stick down a power station. Max power production, 850 units. We were making 375, I believe, with these 5 solar panels. And how much are the solar panels each? 2,000. The power station is 5,000. Granted, you got 1,000 each for the capacitors too. But imagine the amount of space that you would take up in comparison. Unless you were trying to roleplay your prison and saying, hey, I only want my power station or my entire prison fueled with green energy. Maybe you're playing with the particular warden, but I've read some reviews and some kind of feedback that say that other warden, the ecologist, is terrible compared to the botanist, which is obviously what we're playing right now. Maybe farming isn't so powerful. Let me backtrack a second. Maybe farming isn't so powerful if you're playing as one of the regular wardens, the default warden, or any of the other specialized wardens. Maybe then it wouldn't be so difficult. Or maybe it wouldn't be so... Sorry, I got that completely opposite, didn't I? Maybe it would be more difficult. And as a result, maybe the extra challenge posed would make it far less of just exceptional stonks. Overloaded? Overloaded? What? Did I accidentally reconnect? Oh, yeah. I accidentally reconnected that stuff. My bad. Okay. But turns out that can handle it. Oh, man. So, wait. All the time those solar panels haven't even been doing anything. Oh, well, shit. I thought the solar panels were at least powering the farm, but it turns out they haven't been doing that well. I've really given them no chance at all, have I? Let's go ahead and sell that. And, I guess reboot. And then let them start charging the batteries again. Oh, man, I was way out. Oh, there you go, because it's getting closer to noon, I guess. So, really, you should say 375 when they're most efficient, but half because they don't run at nighttime. Wowee. Okay. There's got to be a way that you can use them effectively. I mean, obviously, achieving all the energy goals does that, because I believe it doubles the chance of... it doubles the efficiency, if I'm not mistaken, of... Yeah, there you are. So, fully charged 100 batteries doubles it by 2, but... Man, you got to go a long time before that all... And I mean, even then, the amount of space it takes up compared to a power station... I don't understand why you'd ever go for green energy. I know there's a green energy incentive. Oh, sorry, it's just a recycling incentive. Oh, shit, well, never mind, I take that back. It's early days for the DLC. I think that's something I obviously need to mention, and I imagine this is something that will be very heavily adjusted, particularly the farming. I know we're playing as specifically the botanist warden as well. I forget the bonuses we get from that. Something to do with seeds and things like that, right? But I think the issue I have is with the automation specifically, because it completely sidesteps the entire prison labor, the training necessary to go into that. So, because you have to run the prisoners through another program to actually get them to the point where they can use the machinery. It completely sidesteps it all. And that combined with the auto generators too. Or we're lacking now, like I joked about. That was a joke. I need to emphasize that too with the factory thing. With the conveyor belts, that's all you're short of just completely not needing any stuff at all at that stage. We could house rule it in the future. You know, we could house rule it just to say no using harvesters. Because they... I think it would be a lot more interesting doing it like that, because it's kind of unique in that it's a scalable job. We've got 100 jobs here. I put down another field. Those maximum jobs obviously increases further and further and further. That's a soft cap rather than a hard cap, which you have on the shop. You can only have 4 jobs. Mailroom only have 2 room. Blah, blah, blah. Obviously, this one scales out to the amount of workshops you've got. But this is unique in the sense that this is as large as you want to make it on the map. And you can make... There's no limitations on this rooms, unlike every other job that the prisoners can do. So, and, you know, there's only so much mail that can be sorted. There's only so many things that they're going to want to sell in the shop. There's only so many luxuries they want to fulfilled. I guess the workshop, same thing, but the workshop is so expensive by comparison to buying the new machinery and the training on top of that as well. Especially the carpentry. To be honest, I'm not sure where to take this now. Yeah, I'm not sure where to take the series. Maybe just bulldoze all the farms and continue out as if I'd never seen them. Or maybe limit the amount of farms we got or something like that. Or like I said, maybe take away the auto harvesters. That I think would be kind of fun. Remove the auto harvesters. Maybe the auto gatherers are fine, because all they're really doing is saving our people running around picking up all the corn separately and taking it to exports. Take away the auto harvesters and see if we can run all of this with just prisoners. That could be kind of a fun challenge to go for. Hello, me again. I just wanted to clarify kind of what I was saying in the moment, now that I've had 5 minutes extra to think about it. The problem I've got right now is that through this series, I've restarted it a couple of times based on just weird shit, you know, minimum security prisoners, something I'd never done before, and the horrible cell rating system, which I maintain is still horrible. That wasn't me misunderstanding it. It is just horrible. Then having now, you know, I picked the warden that we did because I was assuming that the bonuses would would complement a playthrough that was centered around farms. What it's actually led to is a prison whereby the warden is either hyper overpowered and completely overshadows the rest of the prison architect prison, or we choose not to use the warden and it makes choosing that warden in the first place a complete waste of time. So I'm now in a weird situation where we've already restarted twice this series, and now I'm basically left with this weird playthrough where what I originally wanted from it was to have some sort of challenge. I assumed, judging by the pre-release content and everything else, that running a farm was intended to be difficult. The dangers and the gang control and the drugs and everything else they kind of hyped up about it is moot because you have a fully implemented automated harvesting system and NPC farmers on top of that. And now it feels like, okay, I can house rule it and we could say, you know, no automation or no corn or whatever else. But then it kind of feels a bit strange that there is this system in place that we could just be using, and it feels like I'm having to balance my own playstyle around challenge that just isn't there, if that makes sense. So I'm in a bit of a weird situation with it right now where, you know, maybe the DLC, when it's balanced, will obviously be incredibly playable and good. But for the series as a whole, it's much more difficult for me to now kind of pass this because it's like, I've already fucking restarted twice. I don't want to do it again. Like, I really don't want to restart again. But I also feel like the only way to redeem it is to start again and say, you know, maybe don't play as the botanist because the farming with the botanist is hyper OP, but I still want to do the farming because that's the whole point of the DLC. So it's like, yeah, hopefully you can kind of understand a little bit more now, and hopefully I phrased that a little bit better at this point, why things are a bit of a pain in the arse. It's almost at the point where I want to say, hey, let's drop Prison Architect and come back to it in like a month when maybe it's a bit more balanced. I don't know. Again, I'll base it on your feedback, but it's very weird, isn't it? I'll admit this has taken the wind out of my sails a little bit. Because now I'm kind of like, oh, well, fuck, I've just started this whole new prison. Now the whole new prison that I've just spent is redundant. It doesn't, like just to re-emphasize the point, we could have a riot, we could have this whole fucking prison burn down, every single prisoner could die, we could stop the intake, and we would still make absolute bank. And I think that's kind of what's throwing me off a little bit here. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to, well, just basically I want to read some feedback first before I continue on, because I might decide to bulldoze the whole thing, but I might experiment with it in between episodes here and tomorrow, and really see what this is about. But the issue is we're now locked in as the botanist as our warden, so if we decide not to even use farms, we're at an inherent disadvantage compared to just playing with a different warden entirely. I could fucking sell it and start again, but I feel like if I do that anymore, I'm gonna fucking cry, let alone the comment section, so... yeah, let's have a chat about that. I'll have a chat about it in Discord and in the comment section, and we'll see where to take this, because I feel like the farming is a bit weird. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, thank you for watching what we have done today, which is Ruin Prison Architect. Thank you to Sycia, Bungo, Out of All Context, Galaxy Wolf, Pang Power, Dranmere, Galupo Fruit Hag, Benji C, Demon Boy, Valo, Chaos Undying, and everyone else at the executive producer tiers over on Patreon for bearing with me with another weird episode of Prison Architect. Every episode, they always seem to get a curveball. We get like 2 good episodes of Prison Architect, and then something fucking strange happens, and I change my mind about everything. This is why I can't play games like this. This is really why I can't play games like this. I'm too much of a perfectionist. This is why I refuse to play Factorio on the channel. I'll never do it. I'll never do it, because unless you want to watch me restart every time I see the wrong conveyor belt, this is what you got to accept, okay? Thank you as well to Coldest Flame, Distress Marana, Bordoon, A Good Chunk of Balsa, Stalker Pepe, Nyancat17, Alex Schultz, Proximity Jones, Bellman, Sam Haruni, Scott, Mr. Awesome, Blue Chaos, Lanath, Roger Wilco, Flom, and Warsheep, along with everyone else over at Patreon as well. See you guys all tomorrow, depending on what we vote on for Prison Architect, or a new prison, or an old prison, or some other sort of weird farm-free prison.